Honor and his team were job agents to the community. I can give you any type of job that has your desired pay. Name your salary range, I will give you, they always boasted. Unknowingly to people, there was a dark secret behind it. People always wondered how they took groups of people out of the community, and in a short while, those individuals would become very wealthy. So they nicknamed them Boba for jobs. It happened one time that they announced to the community that they needed 24 children who had just finished their secondary school to travel with them to the city for free skill acquisition. They promised the children would come back fully equipped and ready to start a business. Parents were thrilled with the idea, and as a matter of fact, it was free. 1/4 of the community brought their children. In total, it was 2,500 children. They had to select the best out of all the children and took only 24. The children who weren't selected were so sad, and the families whose children were selected rejoiced and were proud of them for being outstanding and chosen. They told the parents not to worry, that their children were safe and there was a hostel where the children would stay during the 6 months of the free skill acquisition. They said they reached. Honor and his team brought a long coaster bus to convey them to the hostel. They waved their families goodbye and went, unknowingly that trouble was brewing. The free skill acquisition sounded too good to be true. In the hostel, Sweet, Crush, Tina, and Experience were best friends. They thought they had finally found a skill that would earn them money. In the hostel, days 1 to 3, they were treated nicely, so nobody suspected a thing. On day 4, they were told they had a job while acquiring the skill, that a hotel needed workers. They all bought the idea. They were also told that it would be based on shifts, as all 24 of them couldn't work at the same time. So they shared themselves into 2 groups, Group 1 and Group 2. Tina, Sweet, and Experience were in Group 1, while Crush alone was in Group 2. She was very sad. She said she would be bored for 1 week without seeing her friends. The next day, they brought a vehicle to convey Group 1 to the hotel. The children were so happy, this was extra income for them, coupled with the free skill acquisition. Not knowing they had been lied to, they were being taken for ritual. They appointed Honor to be the driver. He told them that each person would work per week, and the following week, another group would come. They were all happy and thrilled with the idea. Sweet became very sick and couldn't go. Only Tina, Experience, and others went for the job. They were 11 in number, selected by Honor to work for a week. As they entered the bus and were about to take off, Tina overheard Honor talking in a native dialect, not knowing Tina's mom was from that state and had taught her the local dialect. He spoke to another man in the bus, saying that he was bringing them for the ritual and asked if he was ready. He said they were about to take off. Tina then shouted and alerted everyone. Soon, they began looking for escape routes. Tina started breaking the windows, but they couldn't break. They told her it was made of strong glass and she was wasting her time. They tried by all means. Soon, someone miraculously opened the doors of the coaster bus, and some ran while others were still trapped. The people who escaped were Tina, Experience, and 2 other boys. The remaining 7 were taken to the site for the process. No one heard from them again. When Tina came back to the hostel, she found out that Sweet had been taken by a lady to be a house help. She asked Crush, "Why did you allow them to take her? She is very sick." She told Crush that these people were not truthful, they were not who you think they are, we must find her very fast. Crush said she heard the lady telling Sweet that she would change her name and take her to the hospital to run a thorough check, because Sweet was a very slim girl and the lady wasn't impressed with her stature. She remembered the name of the hospital. They rushed there and saw Sweet looking very weak, lying on the hospital bed. They asked the doctor, "Where's the lady that brought her?" He said she stepped out and would be back soon. He told them they should run away and go back home, that he smelled danger. That was why he injected her to be extremely weak, so she could stay there for 2 days while he planned her escape. "This lady," he said, "I saw her on the news some years back." He felt something was off when she brought Sweet for a checkup. So he had to act fast and made her believe Sweet was really sick, to save her life. They took Sweet and ran away, even though it was difficult. The doctor said the injection would wear off the following day. They couldn't go back to the hostel to avoid being caught. They fled to an orphanage and put a call across to their parents, who later sent them money to come back home. Some children were taken to strange places. Some were used as rexti******, both boys and girls. Only 6 children survived out of the 24. After they returned, different people started confessing that Honor and his team had forced them to do things they were not proud of saying. That's how they were able to send huge amounts of money in a short while some families never heard from their children again. Some ran away and came back pregnant, claiming they had given birth to kids in a short period of time. Honor and his team didn't show up again. They were on the run. In the community, they were declared wanted by the police.